System Ants, we're going to hashtag this and trend it. This is the right place to do it.
Let's start with that. How are you enjoying your Comic Con System Ants?
It's very romantic. It's very romantic. I'm trying to find it's very fun. It's romantic. It's great.
It's romantic. We're having a lovely time together. It's a nice, refreshing change from Paul. No, I'm joking. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? We're having fun. It's really nice to do this again with a female video game star. So it's nice to team up.
Likewise, I feel like this. Yeah, no, it's been really good. It is really cool to pair up with another female who plays female warriors, and that doesn't usually happen. So
we're few and far between. So when we get to do it together, it's fun.
You guys have been talking very passionately and elegantly about that side of the industry and the changes you're hoping to see. How big a part of that change do you think you guys being at events like this and meeting people and talking publicly is?
We were discussing this yesterday, weren't we?
Yeah, because actually it drew up some, after we were talking about it in the interview, we were thinking about reflecting on what exactly our role can be in this situation. And I mean, to say that we're going to, go out and change the world is very, perhaps a bit diluted on some level, but it has to start from somewhere. And if you have people who are the leads of games coming out and talking about it with relative comfort and a certain amount of intention, obviously it's going to change some people. Everybody who gets into a position always has people who inspired them, or they saw something on TV or something that really got them as a kid and made them think, oh, I could be doing that too. And sometimes that's the first seed. So hopefully we're providing seeds for people in the future, other women and other people who are not in a position of privilege right now, who could be in the future. And man, I would love to this is going to say sow any of those not so seeds. Cut that from them.
You are sowing seeds.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You're planting seeds. You're planting seeds.
Yes, I'd like to plant any of those seeds for people in the future.
I think you are.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
You are. And like I think I was saying yesterday, it's also like you said about the female characters and role models. And for me, it was that they were missing, and I wanted to fill that gap. I wanted to, I watched Batman growing up, but there was no female. There was no female equivalent, and I think that there began to be something inside of me that was like, I want to create that. I want to be that for other people, and I think, as we were saying yesterday, hopefully the generation that's underneath us will have these female characters, and we'll have Princess Zelda and Evie and all these other Lara Croft and all these other characters that are really now becoming more prominent, and it's great to be able to have this position of, and I also feel like it's a responsibility. You get given these fantastic roles, but you also need to be able to continue doing this and inspiring others to keep going.
Yeah, passing it on.
Yeah.
Following that, what types of ideas did you have? Because yesterday it sounded like you had an idea of what type of narrative or female lead you would want to create. So
yeah, I know. Yesterday I surprised myself. I was like, oh, I'm a game producer now. No, I don't really have an idea. I mean, I just hope that the things like this, that more interaction, even our attendance at Comic Con, it's and our influence in these games and being cast in these games. I think we still, as Patricia suggested, we've got a long way to go, because even casting breakdowns, there's 8 male characters and 1 female character, but it is changing, and even the fact that there is 1 female character is a step towards it. So I think that's that. I mean, I guess I just want to encourage more women to come into the video game industry and to write and produce and direct and feel that they can do that, and that's very possible. And I think maybe what you were talking about was my idea of characters, and that what I said about rather than having a sex object or a butch warrior masculine type, finding something in the middle. And I don't know what the plan is for that. I mean, I don't write video games, but I just again wanted to plant that seed that anybody that's watching that wants new ideas for that kind of thing, I think that's where women want to see relatable people that are relatable, and maybe it'll bring more and more women to video games if that happens.
Yeah,
a middle ground.
Yeah, I quite like doing panels on that note. I do find when you get to go to these events and you get to speak to women directly who might have any sort of question, and you get that one-on-one attention, you can speak to a pretty broad audience at a time, and that's always really nice. Depending on the con, but you can get pretty big audiences to like shout that message out for, and that's pretty great. Yeah.
How much of that gender division in terms of the numbers do you think is down to prejudice or pandering in the games themselves and then the way they're being written, or is it just the types of stories, the types of narratives that are being made into games? So for example, Call of Duty, it's not a surprise that game is entirely populated by male characters. So how much of it is, I guess, driven by prejudice or a desire to exclude women from that space, and how much of it is just the type of games people are playing?
Right. Well, as they say, I think 50% of gamers are women. But of course, it is not divided equally amongst games. You have, with a lot of times with FPSs, you have a grand majority of that being men. But not to exclude. I mean, some of my favorite streamers are women of Rainbow Six Siege, so I know several of them. And as I mentioned with Ammunition, for example, yesterday, she just posted a video of what it's like to be a gamer girl. Just people being like, "You're a girl," and just like at her, "Get off the stream, you're a girl, you're a gamer girl," and just getting sort of plummeted. So, I mean, obviously, there's definitely a real trend in FPSs being a more sort of, as one would say, masculine territory, and a lot maybe more like cell phone games or puzzle games and things like that tend to be more women heavy. Zelda I found is like a really equal split. I get 6-year-old girls coming up on their Switches and being like, "Oh my gosh," and I'm like, "Wow, you guys are awesome." I love it. Yeah, but you just you see just a big wash across the board for like RPGs. But yeah, how much do I think? I wish I knew. I wish I knew so I could get in there more and figure out how to change that the stigma around the exclusion on that somehow. But I don't know how. But I will be looking into that in the future because I do think it's both.
Yeah, I think going on that topic, some things that I've seen, and I think I've maybe had a different experience in some ways that I played a lot of. I'm part of Titanfall 2, Shadow of War, Assassin's Creed, Horizon Zero Dawn is different, as I was discussing, but those I guess seen as masculine games. I think there's two issues that maybe need to be addressed, which is looking at the top down. There seems to be a lot of people that are female at the level of when we're creating the game, but the decision making, I'm not sure how many. I would like to know the numbers on how many decision makers and the company owners are male and female. It would be interesting to see that. And also marketing. I think marketing is really important. And I know when they did Assassin's Creed Syndicate, I have to admit I was upset that Evie was on one side of the game and Jacob was in the center. And it was really marketed like that. And unless you play the game, you don't know that. So I think marketing plays a huge part in that. And sometimes marketing, it's not there. I don't think it's anybody's fault, but the communication is missed because they don't know the game and they don't have. There's so many NDAs that nobody knows what's actually in the game. So they're informing and communicating and saying, how do we want to present this, and having the courage to present it with female characters. I think there's a fear to present these female characters in case they don't get the sales, and I think we're past that now, and that fear needs to be eradicated.
Is there like any big franchises you want to wish or you'd love to get involved and kind of break that kind of stereotype?
Well, I feel as though I've been trying to do that with Assassin's Creed. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's some playable female characters in the other games, but this is the first one for the next generation console, and I think that it's I think it has broken a lot of boundaries doing that, and I think it's still, with that franchise, there's still a way to go, and especially with Call of Duty 2. I think they have some female playable characters in Call of Duty now. Well, yeah, I mean, but that's what we're dealing with at the moment, and that's, unfortunately, that's the way it is. But it is changing. The fact that Evie's in Assassin's Creed, and the fact that these characters are in Call of Duty, that it is changing. But I don't understand. It's 2018 and it's still very heavily prevalent in this industry. I'd like to be in Call of Duty. I would like to do that. I think that would be good. I think it's cool, right? It's a cool World War stuff, and What about you?
Well, I was just thinking, actually, I mean, we're talking about all this inequality, but I'm so happy to be part of Rainbow Six Siege, for example, that has, some amazing female characters in that. And I do feel that a lot of Ubisoft's mandate has been to try to fix that problem as much as possible in the last years. And they're continuing. I think they're doing a great job. Like, you feel more and more comfortable in that kind of working environment as time goes on. It's more and more equal. Again, still, when you look at even just the breakdown of total roles, even if a woman is out front and then you have like 10 guys for the background stuff, it's like just access, sheer numbers of access to work in general. Not just in video games, but in TV and film, where they'll put a lead out front. It'll be like one woman and 3 men. It's almost like the standard sort of thing that you see on a billboard these days. So I don't know. It's
you know about Gina Davis? You know what she's doing?
No, I don't know what she's doing.
So Gina Davis is. I've been working with them on the last show that I did, Extinct, and she has a foundation for women in TV and film. And I don't know, I need to talk to them about video games, but they basically have a program and an app that run the statistics on how many female characters and even background characters, everything across the board, the crew, and they look at it and they present the statistics to Warner Brothers, Sony, in a very articulate way. So there's no like negative connotations, but she's built this foundation now that's really looking at how we're presented, because such a TV and film is so influential on women of every generation, and if we're not seeing these women do anything, I think that's why it's evolving. I know there's the generation above us and the generation above that. There was just no opportunities. Because they didn't see that. They didn't see role models of that. And so it was like, you're a mother and you're a wife, and that's okay. If you do something else, then good for you, but we're not going to encourage it, And so it's great now that the boundaries are getting broken. And as you said with Rainbow Six, Horizon Zero Dawn is great. Aloy I just did that with the Frozen Wilds. I played 2 new female characters in that, and it's great, really great, very equal. And Guerrilla Games are doing a great job of that. So, and I think they're getting lots of recognition for it too.
Yeah. Overwatch. Yeah.
And Overwatch. Yeah.
Overwatch.
Have you spoken to Lucy? Have you guys spoken to Lucy?
Lucy Pohl. Yeah, she has.
It's been great to speak to you guys. We've got a
All
lot
right.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Okay, great. Can we do let's keep it easy. The favourite colour and that stuff.
Just doing a little interview with Victoria Atkin.
Oh, hi.
Turning the camera background on you.
Oh look,
Hey.
just turning the camera on the prayers.
Revenge. And what's been the best or the most interesting thing you've seen this weekend? 'Cause the sights of Comic Con are always quite memorable.
Yeah, they are. Truly, the cosplay here is quite exceptional. I actually just got back from the Nintendo area, and I happened upon, it just worked out that way. I was going to see this guy named Faz over there who'd been interviewing before, and he's like, it's a Zelda cosplay meetup right now.
Oh, wow.
And so we just did these incredible pictures. Everybody, they were just beautiful, like a big group of them. And
That's really
I was
cool.
like, yeah, perfect. Anyway, that's my favorite right now because that's what I'm currently buzzing on. So, yeah.
Mine. I'm like lost for words right now. I'm trying to wake up.
You like the cupcakes that just gave me
The
comatose.
cupcakes, the talking to Patricia Quinn in the toilets.
That was actually pretty excellent.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
I just think it for me, it's just so great to be in London and to be where Assassin's Creed Syndicate is set. The Rooks are coming out, and we're here in London where the game is based, and it's nice to just come home. It's really nice to be home, and everybody. It's just a great event. I'm really enjoying myself.
So, the really weird question is, what food would best describe you?
Oh, I like this question. I don't know the answer.
I can try. I'm not sure if it's a food per se, but a spirit.
Oh man!
Let's get
the crystals on
I
the
had
table.
my acting classmates once try and have me guess what they were talking about when we were playing this game years ago. Funny enough, they were from London, and ultimately it was decided that of all the spirits that best described me, I was a Porto, and I was like, I don't even know what that
What is
means,
that?
but a Porto, just like a nice
a
fortified wine. Yeah.
Oh.
But I really like that. I really like Porto as well, so I was like, I can take that.
Do we call
Little
it port
tawny
here? I
port.
think we just say port, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say port? You say port?
Yeah.
Oh, I've always, I guess in Quebec, I guess the French call it Porto. I don't know. It's weird.
You are kind of a port. I think
kind
you're
of
a
a
port. You
port,
are a
yeah.
port. Very classy.
Yeah.
Classy. She's
Classy,
very
classy and a
classy.
bit dark.
Yeah, dark. Because you only drink.
Dark.
I feel like you only drink port in like a
Rosé.
cavern or something. That's you.
It's really good, yeah.
I like it. Now I feel like, how do I describe me? Something that's like looks tough but really isn't. Like,
Like a chocolate cupcake.
yeah, like that. With the
cream
inside.
filling.
There's like,
I think she's a Cadbury.
yeah,
egg.
Cadbury's cream egg. We just had this. Right, that's probably a good way to describe me. Really looks very fierce from the outside and really isn't in the inside. Big squidgy mess. I think that probably. I think because when you get to know me and you've got past that chocolate shell, I think there's
It's just a big gooey hug.
there's a big
inside.
gooey person. So I think that's I'm a cream egg.
Staying on food, since I
Yeah.
feel like this is such a great topic. What's your favourite dishes then?
Ooh,
Oh, our favourite dishes.
I'm gonna go with this one first.
Go
I
on.
think that depends on where I'm traveling. I think in London, I've tried fish pie. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I like it. Fish and chips, and
You're so Canadian American
Pizza.
right now. We really
and
like the
curry.
fish and chips.
I like
you
the
have.
British big
Curry?
versions of curry.
Yeah.
yeah. That's kind of it. Yeah. Fresh oysters, and a little bit of nice champagne.
Told you she's
It's
super
like
classy.
with some port. I like oysters with a bit of port.
She's so classy.
There we go. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
Port and oysters.
Very important.
Patricia Summersett. I feel like you should be on like a. I feel like you
love
should
the
be on
soup.
like a Chanel advert now with like port and oysters. Just you there looking with your port and oysters.
It'd have to be by the sea, though. Otherwise, no. It has to be in the
But in
desert.
Cannes.
In Cannes.
In Cannes. with
Canned oysters?
you. No, Cannes, like in France.
Oh, in Cannes.
Not canned oysters.
Blasphemy.
That's what some of us grew up on, Patricia.
Canned oysters.
No, I did not.
I
Never
still
had-
like smoked mussels from the can, I will say. But
I've had that.
it's they're all right. The oils.
My favourite dish. God, I feel like I'm contrasting Patricia now. I like a kid's meal. I like fish fingers, chips, and beans. But no. Oh my goodness, it depends. It really depends. I'm into healthy food now. One food item that I really love, that I would love to have, and I generally do have every day, is an avocado.
Ooh, me too. I have that every day.
It's not really a dish, but that's my answer today.
I think I'm really curious about. I mean, obviously we're talking about really fun, silly stuff at the moment, and then other days we've been chatting, we've been talking about quite serious stuff.
So I was saying cream egg.
Yeah, and I guess my question is, when you're at events like this, how do you feel about the fact that so often the subject of women in gaming and these kind of things come up? Are you happy for those conversations to come up, or would it be better for you if it was just all the fun, silly stuff and talking about the games themselves?
No, I'm happy they come up. I'm more than happy to talk about it. And I think it's important to talk about it. We've got to have the contrast, right? Otherwise people don't listen. If you're banging on about it all the time, like, they're like, ugh. So you have to have the favourite food and avocado and port and canned oyster chat first.
And that's my tactic too. I just feed somebody a glass of port, and then I just bang in all the political information. No, but in all seriousness, when you get to meet a lot of people and it becomes a really meaningful experience, it's definitely a good environment where you can also you can leave and feel that you've contributed something as well beyond just fluffy entertainment, which is also very important because everybody just hanging around and hugging and having a great time is great as well. But having the both is.
It's like a cream egg. Get a bit.
I feel like a cream egg and port go really well together. It's a really
I
tough
don't want to have a
meal.
port and a cream egg at
I
the same
do.
time.
Let's fight.
All right.
All
No,
right.
I don't want to.
And you win.
You have the port and cream egg. You know, actually, I want to see you do the Chanel advert with the port and the oysters, and then just kind of put them to the side and get a cream egg out of it.
She's gonna come. How do I
Just
eat
change
my
the
cream
whole
egg?
thing up.
Yeah, and then just sort of pull it
Yeah,
apart. And
you should have seen Patricia
And
eat a
pull it an
cream egg.
oyster.
It was like, it was kind of, you could tell she was not from England. When she ate this, you know the whole how do you eat yours? It was kind of disturbing.
I just crushed it. I took it and I was like,
She ate the whole wow. She went
just
whole
did
like
that.
she didn't do the lick in the inside or any of that. She just full on.
yeah.
It was good. I mean, you could
Nobody's
tell.
ever going to listen to me again. Nobody's ever going to take
No,
me
they are.
seriously.
They are. They're just gonna know you're like. You just need practice. You need to eat more. I'm gonna get you a lot more.
Okay, but they have to be genuine.
We grew up on
England
these things.
eggs. Not,
They will, I'm not gonna
those
give-
American versions of the
Free-range.
Cadbury.
Free range cream eggs.
Grain-free Cadbury eggs. Yes,
American
exactly.
free. Hershey
Yeah.
free.
Hershey-free, modified corn syrup-free.
Then they
very
will turn
strongly
into
about
American gluten-free, vegan cream eggs.
This is the best conversation.
Sorry, we're
I'm
ruining
gonna hug
everything.
myself. Thank you
Obviously,
very much
it's
for
Sunday.
this conversation, Victoria.
I
Yes.
think we've been given our wrap-up signal. So we're
It's
gonna,
probably good.
We're gonna go and hunt some free-range, gluten-free.
Please
Cadbury
do.
eggs.
Because I only eat them like
That
that.
hold oysters,
Cadbury,
right?
not Hershey.
That hold
Cadbury, not
oysters.
Hershey.
Definitely not.
Thank you. That would be wonderful.
But that was fun. Thanks, guys.